Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Further Beyond Gaming. My name is Cody GT, and in today's video we're actually going to go ahead and continue the series seeing which battlesuit is the best for each Valkyrie. So I do hope you enjoy the video today. I hope you enjoy what you see. If you do, go ahead and drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and remember to hit the notification bell to stay notified. But with that being said, where we left off is with Theresa. So the last one we did was Himiko, so we're going to continue down the line to Theresa, and we're going to take a look at each and every one of her battle suits, and we're going to rank them from worst to best. And this is, of course, in my opinion, of how I just view the battle suits and how I would rank them personally. So in the comments down below, let me know your guys' list on how you rank them. I always love to see your guys' ranking because they're always different than mine, and I love to see different opinions. So with that being said, let's jump straight into it. So when it comes to Theresa, the worst battle suit, I believe, in my opinion, for her, just as of right now, would be, in my opinion, Saku no Rondo. Just as of right now. So when Saku no Rondo first dropped, I was extremely hyped for this Valkyrie to come because I was such a massive fan of Yae and Miko and the Sakuras, and I still am, don't get me wrong. And so when Saku no Rondo was about to release, I was over the moon hyped for this Valkyrie because of her look. And she seemed to have been a really good Valkyrie, and she still is to some aspects, but she just doesn't really live up to the hype, in my opinion. I'm sure you can make her really OP with the proper weapon and gears, but just in my opinion, being a psychic fire type, you have Phoenix Fuhua, and I just wouldn't ever really see you using Saku no Rondo over Phoenix Fuhua, in my opinion, unless you're just a massive Saku no Rondo fan. But I just think that she's a really cool looking Valkyrie. I love her character design. I like the way she looks, and I'm sure she's able to do some really good damage when you really gear her out properly and give her the proper stigmatas and the proper weapon. But just in my opinion, as of right now, I think she's the worst Theresa. But let me know once again in the comments down below what you guys think. Now, moving on from there, I would have to go with the very next one, Luna Kindred. Now, Luna Kindred was, again, another one that I was extremely hyped to come out when she was announced or when she was released, because once again, I love her character design, and I love what she seemed to have been bringing to the table, which seemed to have been a really good shield breaker, easy to play with, and has some decent burst damage. But once again, just being a biological type, physical type Valkyrie, I mean, there's just so many better ones out there. I mean, would you honestly run her over Night Squire, or honestly run her over God Kiana? Like, the only time, once again, I could see you running this Valkyrie over any other physical type biological would be if you just truly enjoyed Luna Kindred, and that's the Valkyrie you used, and that's the Valkyrie you wanted to use, and she's the one that, you know, you were all about. That's when I can see you using Luna Kindred. It's just a preference and what you prefer in the Valkyrie. But once again, character design, everything about Luna Kindred, I'm all for it, and I truly enjoy. So that's my take on Luna Kindred being the second to the worst Theresa. Now, moving over to the third to the worst Theresa, or now I guess we're getting into the better ones in my opinion. And the next one I would have to go with is, if we go ahead and switch the core, there we go, and we get Viola Executors. So Viola Executor is a natural S rank Valkyrie, and one for Theresa, and this is, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, one of the very first natural S rank Valkyries I pulled. It might have been the second or third, but I was extremely hyped when I pulled this Valkyrie. I actually have a video pulling Viola Executor because when she first dropped, she was one of the very first S rank, natural S rank Valkyries to drop that's brand new. And I love the once again, the design of the Theresas. I don't know what it is. The design of the Theresas, especially Viola Executor, her outfits are absolutely amazing. I love Viola Executor's outfits. They look great. They're absolutely amazing. So when this Valkyrie first dropped, I was really hyped And when I pulled her, I was extremely hyped. And she was a mecha. She was doing a lot of damage. She was bleeding. She had a lot to her kit, but the problem was is you really needed her weapon right here, which is the Blood Embrace, to be able to maximize her damage output, as well as having the some of the Dracula stigmas. They have the dark JXY here for the mid and the bottom. So she was just a bit gear dependent as well to be able to maximize her damage output. But then again, once you started playing with her and realized, you know, she's just not all that viable. There's better mecha types out there, better physical mecha types. So you just kind of drifted away from Viola Executor. She was still really great, did a lot of damage, really did good on shield enemies, but she just didn't really excel anywhere else. It just wasn't really any other areas where you were just too excited about her. Her play style was okay, not the greatest, so she just kind of fell down the list for me, and I just started using her less and less. So Viola Executor, the next one on the list. Now moving on from there, I would then have to go with Theresa. Now Theresa, specifically Valkyrie Pledge with the Oath of Judah, was one of the best, if not the best, Valkyrie you could possibly use, because the best Valkyrie in the game, early game, was Oath of Judah. And you guys understand that if you're from the early game of Honkai in the beginning, having Oath of Judah was almost a must and a necessary summon when it first came out, because of how over the top, overpowered that weapon was, that it eventually morphed into being its own Valkyrie, where Oath of Judah was the Valkyrie and Theresa was the weapon. That's how big of a meme it actually became. And so when I pulled Oath of Judah, I was extremely excited. It was actually a very hype video from back in the day, and putting it on Valkyrie Pledge just worked out so really well, because she became a staple on so many different team combinations. It was just a very overpowered mechanic, being able to hold the enemies in place, switch out to another Valkyrie, burst damage, do all sorts of stuff, and be able to do really good damage by itself. Valkyrie Pledge and the Oath of Judah, that combination with the Stigmata combinations, just became a very potent combo. And so, and still to this day, it's really good. You just don't see it as often because, you know, the meta has progressed, the game has progressed, there's better options, better team combinations. But I would say, and it's blasphemous that I still have Valkyrie Pledge at double S rank, by the way. I am sorry about that, guys. Other things became priority, and I just stopped prioritizing Valkyrie Pledge. That should actually show that she fell off for me as the game started to progress. I just stopped focusing on her as much. As you can see, level 79 and whatnot. So, but yeah, Valkyrie Pledge, Oath of Judah, that combo, very good. Still very good to this day. Now, moving on from there, the very next one, second to the best Theresa, in my opinion, if we augment this core, which I don't have it maxed out, that's blasphemous as well. I need to get on top of that. Would be, let me get her in her proper outfit, Twilight Paladin right here. Twilight Paladin right here. So Twilight Paladin, the second to the best Theresa in my opinion. Reason being is because Twilight Paladin's damage is off the charts, especially when she's in that burst mode. She does tons of damage, tons of shield damage. She is actually a fantastic Valkyrie. I would always recommend Twilight Paladin over Viola Executor for your mecha physical type. She does really good in a lot of areas, whether it be Abyss or Memorial Arena. She's just the augmented versions. I've said this since their inception. The augmented version of these Valkyries have always been absolutely phenomenal. Twilight Paladin is right in that list of being absolutely fantastic. Her outfit's spot on. Her gameplay and mechanic is spot on. So Twilight Paladin, a phenomenal Valkyrie. If you have Violet Executor and you have not augmented this core yet, you need to get on it. You're missing out on a really good Valkyrie right here in Twilight Paladin. So second to the best Theresa in my opinion. Really good. And then if we move on to the last but definitely not least, the very best Theresa in my opinion is Celestial Hymn. Celestial Hymn, since she first came out, and release was a must summon by everybody in the beginning of Honkai because of how good of a support Valkyrie she actually is for the entire team. She fits on just about any team combination you could think of. Her support is off the charts. She's able to supply so much SP and so much physical damage to your Valkyries. She's a really good biological type option for your team. And if you have the 11 Sacred Relic, especially if you have it forged, then you have yourself a top tier support Valkyrie for your entire team. Do I have? Okay, yeah, I do have. I was just making sure the level was where it's supposed to be. So for the entire team, this weapon is really good, providing crit rate, providing SP, doing extra damage itself, providing healing for the team as well, extra attack. It's just an amazing weapon right here. So if you don't have the 11 Sacred Relic forged, this is one of the first pre-arms I advise you to forge and get on board and evolved, I guess I should say, or forged. I should just say forged. Just say forged, and it will benefit you tremendously. So Celestial Hymn, definitely a Valkyrie that is, in my opinion, one of the best in the entire game. She is absolutely fantastic, and I would put her in the top 5 best Valkyries in the game, just based off of her support capabilities and her versatility being on many different teams. But with that being said, guys, that was my list of Theresas from worst to best. Like I mentioned, in the comments down below, let me know what your list is. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed what you saw today. We're going to go ahead and continue the series moving on from here on out. Who do we have next? I know a lot of you guys are waiting for Ye, but next is going to be Fuhua, so I hope you are excited about that, and then we'll talk about the Ritas. But with that being said, I'm going to get out of here. Remember to stand out, be different, have fun, go further beyond in everything that you do. And until next time, my boys, until next time, it's your homie Cody GT, and I'm out.